welcome to Wisconsin Weather Experts right here on Fox Local and, of course, the FOX6 YouTube channel. Don't forget to click subscribe. It has been an eventful week, to say the very least. We've had days in the 40s. We've had some rain. We've had a lot of rain.
A lot of rain, a lot of clouds.
No heat, no sun, and now the sun is back. So we'll get to all of that and, of course, take you on into the future and look at some of the amazing trends that are coming our way as we get closer to meteorological summer.
It's coming up. Are you ready for it?
But we haven't been alone. It's been an active period around the world and across the country. Let's go to Oklahoma now. Some amazing video there of some hail. We've got a sound on this as well, so let's listen to it. All right, so that is a Fox Weather correspondent, or a member of our Fox Weather family at the very least, Mark, and he sent that back with this video there from Bernieville, Oklahoma, is what you're looking at. Obviously, the sound itself was worth listening to. Definitely really coming down. At one point, it was fairly large, up to about $half size. So we thank Mark Komodo for that video. We appreciate him sending that with the sound on.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the sights and the sounds of weather.
And I don't think I like that sound hitting my own car when you're driving through it. But I mean, you can even see it piling up. And having large hailstones definitely makes it a little more dangerous to travel in that.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger insurance claims, weather related. You know, flooding is obviously the top of that chart, but the hailstones are up there too, because when you get them to a certain size, it's just...
And we've had our fair share of that here in Wisconsin this year as well.
Some of the largest hailstones I've seen in a long time. Let's go to Massachusetts. No hail in this video, but it's some pretty significant rain. We know what that's like. We can take a look at this from Worcester, Mass, I believe. And you can definitely hear the wind on that too. Pretty soggy day there in Massachusetts. So we weren't alone with that rain.
No.
Happy to say it's cleared.
For now, at least. Yes, we are continuing to watch that forecast.
Trying to be positive. It's cleared.
It's cleared. For now.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, we're heading into a big weekend. We have the Indy 500 coming up. We have, again, Memorial Day weekend coming up, a holiday extended for many people. And of course, we want to keep that rain clear in as many areas as possible. And that is something that we are going to continue to track, is where the rain and storms are going to be across the country and where we're looking to see some sunshine and clear weather.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's get to that forecast as we look at our regional weather right now. Again, taking a live look from Indianapolis. Looks beautiful out there. A little windy, a little shaking on the camera, but even though we are having that, we are going to continue to be tracking a little more cloud cover in Indianapolis. While we are not seeing rain there right now, we are watching the sky very closely for the potential of maybe a couple showers surrounding Indy just in time for that race. So if you're watching here locally, yes, you can watch it on Fox. This will be on Sunday. The weather here in Milwaukee is going to be great. Plenty of sunshine. We'll have temperatures a little cooler near the lake in the upper 50s with a northeast wind about 10 miles an hour. As we head into that forecast for Indianapolis, though, there is going to be a little more cloud cover surrounding Indianapolis, and some of the models are hinting at maybe a couple stray showers in the morning. While that's possible right now, we are trending drier in time for the race, with more showers re-entering the Indianapolis area heading into the afternoon and evening. So right now, I think we're going to be green and good to go just in time for that big race come Sunday. Temperatures a little bit warmer in Indiana as well, in the mid to upper 60s, but still dealing with a northeast wind there about 10 miles an hour. Now, where we're tracking our next big system, this is going to be in the southern plains and southern portions of the Mississippi River Valley. Notice in portions of Kansas heading into Missouri, even northern areas of Arkansas, we're starting to see a couple showers and storms flare up. This is going to be the zone to watch all weekend long. Right now, there is a flood watch pertaining to the four corners of this area, where we are expected to see heavy rain not only today, but over the next 3 days. The Weather Prediction Center has put a significant outlook for these spots for 2 to 8 inches of rain, again with those higher amounts around the four corner region where flooding is going to be likely. Not great, especially since some of the territory in these portions of near Branson, Missouri, and in the northwestern Ozark regions, that's where we are tracking a lot of mountainous terrain. So that is going to lead to some flooding hazards, especially on roads. We're going to have to watch that very closely heading into the weekend ahead. Notice this exact same area, even as we zoom out a little bit, this is where we're also going to be outlined for the chance of severe storms, not only across the plains, but heading westward towards the Rockies. Now, this is the outlook for today heading into tomorrow morning, but take a look as we head into the weekend. That same area still outlooked for severe weather, and the same area almost exactly just a little bit further south also outlooked for the potential for severe storms heading into Sunday. So it is going to be more of a stormy and not the safest forecast for areas south. If you're traveling, again, you will need to be weather aware. We are tracking all types of severe hazards within these spots that could pertain anywhere from frequent lightning, which of course is a hazard if you'll just be outside trying to enjoy the holiday weekend, all the way to large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. Here's the current setup. We are dealing with this occluded low pressure system continuing to bring clouds, colder, and wet weather to portions of New England. Surrounding that is going to be a little more cloud cover, which could impact northern portions of Wisconsin today. We'll get into that forecast shortly. But notice the Rockies heading into portions near the Gulf. This is where we're having this low pressure system with extending fronts from it. That's going to impact the weather in some of those areas today. In particular, notice the heating starting to occur in southern states heading towards the Gulf. This really is where all the warm air and high moisture content is trapped right now, but it's going to continue to move up right into this area of Arkansas and Missouri that we are watching for higher rainfall totals. That is all going to lift over that front and again become hazardous in terms of rain there. What we're watching also, besides the warm temperatures, it's going to be near the Rockies, because with the front sitting here around low pressures, we're going to see an uptick in our winds, which could impact some of those spots. But the temperatures are going to vary significantly from northern portions of the United States to the south, where we have the 80s, 90s, even 100s forecasted today in the southwest, to the 50s and 60s by the Great Lakes. Now, remember that low I just mentioned by the Rockies, that is still going to have some very breezy winds around it, looking to have very dry air settling into that zone 2 by the Rockies. So around western Colorado, heading into portions of Utah, we are talking about at least a fire risk in that zone, and that actually could be extended further south in the portions of New Mexico and Arizona as we head into tomorrow. We are going to be tracking, again, stronger winds in this zone with dry air on the backside of that low. So, of course, not the best to ignite any fires for the holiday weekend there. Right here, though, back at home in Milwaukee, we have a beautiful skyline. Even though we have some of those puffy cumulus clouds, they are not giving us any kind of rain or storms. And while those clouds may be present on Saturday and on Monday, our forecast for the holiday weekend is looking to remain dry. We'll be a little bit cooler by the lake, 50s on Saturday, inland areas 60s, so similar to today. We'll have a similar forecast Sunday and Monday, low 60s near the lake with mid 60s inland. But it's all about, again, the sunshine and the dry weather that we are going to have here locally. If you are going to be traveling elsewhere across the state, we're going to dig into that forecast, because we are going to watch northern portions of Wisconsin that not only could have a little cloud cover circulating around the backside of that low, but we could have a couple pop-up showers, maybe even rumbles of thunder by the peak heat hours of the afternoon on Saturday. Central and southern portions of the state are favored more so to stay dry, but we will have a reoccurring similar setup on Sunday, maybe a couple showers further north, then drying out just in time for the dinner time and evening hours on Sunday evening. Then Monday, we're going to have to watch an approaching system closely, because that could bring more scattered clouds across the state, and especially in southwestern and southern portions of Wisconsin, there is the potential for maybe dealing with a couple of showers there as well. But by this time, we'll be wrapping up your Memorial Day. So just keep in mind that most of the forecast will remain dry. We'll have some spotty showers possible further north up near Rhinelander, and we'll have to watch portions near the Wisconsin-Illinois border for some rain moving in at the end of Memorial Day weekend, heading into the start of our upcoming week. So we're looking out here, but of course, we're going to keep an eye to the sky in those areas that could be impacted with storms and significant rain through the upcoming days.
All right, thanks, Lisa. And of course, we talked about around the globe as well. You know, here we're focused on what's happening in Milwaukee as we take a live look down at Mitchell International. But in other parts of the planet, things are a lot busier. At least, sadly, 4 people are dead and 1 person is missing as record flooding hits southeastern Australia. It was a deluge of rain for them for days. Big time flooding and just swamping the New South Wales area of that country. Residents, of course, trying to figure out what to do with homes that are totally surrounded by water. About 50,000 people have been stranded, 678 rescued by emergency workers, and the federal government, they're looking for support from the federal government.
We know this is an incredibly tough time, and the heart of Australians goes out to those people who are going through this difficult period. But the rest of Australia stands with you as well and will provide whatever support is necessary.
We still do have active flood rescues still coming into the system, and we're dealing with those on a case by case. We have seen that tempo drop off, and that's a good thing.
All right, so the New South Wales State Emergency Services Commissioner says while rains are easing, the waters could continue to rise due to the runoff, and that's going to contribute to the ongoing flooding concerns. Just incredibly dramatic pictures there from down under, as we like to say. Yeah, wow. All right, so we'll keep you an eye on that, and of course, everything else that's happening weather-wise on this planet. And we also like to pay attention to some of the things that are flying just above our planet. Yes, Gino Salomone is for the birds, and we've got him next. We're back with Wisconsin weather experts. We are out on the weather deck because if we're going to talk birds with Gino, we have to be out in the outdoors. We were just talking about our new bird decor, which is
That's a heron.
a heron.
A metal heron.
Yeah, that one's not going to
rare sight.
migrate.
Right,
But
right.
we are actually talking here a little bit about migration in addition to some of the amazing pictures that you've taken.
That's right.
Because it is that season.
It is. It's warbler season, and anybody, if you go to any park, you're going to see people with lenses out looking for those warblers. They're only here for a brief time, but I've been taking some pictures, and there we go.
Yeah, and these are all taken by Gino, in case you thought we just harvested some calendar or something.
This is a
They're
Canada
great pics.
warbler.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Does it
See,
speak with
Rob,
an accent?
In your honor. It's
Let's
a
go
boat.
to the hockey game
It's a,
tonight, eh?
yes, and you know the key is just sitting and being still and quiet. You'd be surprised.
Really?
Let's take another look at what's coming. Okay,
wow.
This one looks like it has a toupee, and I'm
It
not
does,
kidding you.
yeah, or like a Mr. T Mohawk thing going on. Yeah.
Yes, it's a Wilson's warbler. That's another one that, and I got one shot. That was it. There's a little stick in front,
They don't
unfortunately.
stick around very long?
They don't. They flit
Okay.
around quickly, so you got to really act on it.
Okay.
All right, let's see what, there we go. Okay, this is the chestnut-sided warbler.
Okay.
A lot of these. Now that's the male. The female, a little duller, unfortunately. It's the
Right,
men
right.
that have all the plumage, the colored plumage.
That tends to be the thing in the bird world, right? Like the peacock
Right.
has all of the plumage, but the peahen, not so much.
No, not so much. Okay, now this is a female redstart. It just posed so perfectly. Boom, nailed it.
Why red star? There's like no red in that at all.
I know, but if you see the male, and I didn't, of course, it would have been nice if
okay.
I did send a male picture. I did not, but they're like reddish orange and
Okay.
black.
And then the
Okay.
females are more of an orange, yellowy orange.
Yes,
there. I
yes.
gotcha. Okay.
And I think,
I think we have one more. I'm not sure.
okay,
Ooh, wow.
that's the magnolia warbler. It looks like it's wearing a necklace, an intricate
Really does,
necklace. And you know, the key was, I have looked for these birds for so long. I hit one spot right along the river, the Menominee River, and there was one bush there, and these birds just kept coming and going. Okay, this is the blue-gray gnatcatcher, excuse me.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, it's not tipped toward me because if you would see, it has a unibrow.
Oh,
just
really?
this black unibrow. And a lot of people say
Looks
it
like
looks...
Bert from Sesame.
Well, that or Angry Birds.
Oh, the
you know that?
birds. Yes. And this might be our
wow.
last
Okay,
one.
that's an eastern kingbird. And again, you know, Lisa was asking me, is it better when the sun is out? That was one of those moments where the light just hit perfectly and that bird was cooperative.
It's like posing for you.
Yeah.
Yes. So this has been the greatest hobby. I'm now in my lowest weight that I've been in probably 30 years because I'm getting over 10,000 steps a day just walking through
Walking
nature.
around for the
Yeah.
birds, and you're also a big advocate for the wildlife and the
Yes,
birds in
yeah.
particular. And this is a migratory season, so
Right.
what can we as humans do to help?
Well,
or at least get out of the way and let them do the
habitat,
thing.
yes, exactly. Get out of the way is
Yeah.
one of those things. Keep the habitat. You know, do we need any more construction? No, we need more bird places.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, seriously, if you go to the right place along a river, along a body of water, you should see that variety, and they're probably going to be gone in 2 or 3 days.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
that's
It's
how
been a
quick
really good
the
season.
migration.
Yes.
takes?
Well, it's been
Okay.
about 4 weeks, so it's
Okay.
been a really good season, and it's thanks to both of you because it's the wind patterns too that dictate whether they're going to come to this area and how
Right.
long they're going to stay.
Where do they migrate to? Do we
Canada,
know?
northern
Okay.
Canada.
Go over to Canada.
That's right. And then I thought, with this rain, there'd be nothing. I was out this morning at the Ware Nature Center, at the Ware.
The where?
Where?
The Ware Nature
Where?
Center,
Yeah.
and there's still a bunch of warblers around, so
Well,
not
good.
too late. Get
Okay.
out there.
Check it out.
It's a great thing to do. You'll love it. I
There you go.
promise.
And so if you obviously advocate for this, it's something you really love,
Yes.
and you've got some higher end gear, but you don't really need that to get started.
No, I had just a simple lens for the longest time, and if you're patient and you wait, you don't have to get too up close to get a great shot. You can
Right.
do that.
Okay.
And I highly recommend the Merlin app. The Merlin app is this amazing thing that you will press sound and it will tell you all the birds that it picks up in the area.
Really?
Last week, I had like 26, 30 different birds all in just one visit. So you may not see them all,
Yeah.
but you will hear them.
Right, and then that helps you know what you're looking for when
Right,
you're out
exactly.
there trying to get that shot.
Yes.
What do you keep a bird book like some people do?
I don't keep a bird book, but I know what I've seen and
You've
what
got a
I
bird
haven't
brain.
seen. That's it. That's why I do it. Exactly.
Is there one that's not in that bird brain or bird list
Yes.
yet? What's that?
The hooded warbler. It's got like
Oh.
a black hood around it.
And would we see it here, or do you have to travel for that?
It's been at the Menominee River Parkway. I just
You
haven't
haven't had
seen
it
it
yet.
yet. No.
Oh,
no.
all right. So the hooded warbler.
And Lisa, your family now getting into it.
Yeah, I actually just had my family send me a picture of the Baltimore. Is it Oriole?
Or
Yes.
Baltimore Ravens.
Okay,
Yeah, like
there
the
we
baseball
go.
team.
Yes, like the
Yeah.
baseball team. Never seen it. And Gino's like, "What do you mean you never seen that?"
And that one's
Beautiful.
simple to get. Cut oranges, put orange halves out.
you
You
go.
will get them. And they eat jelly too. But now is the time when they go in the forest and eat bugs because they need protein.
They're fattening up for the days ahead. All right, thank you so
Thank you.
much. This has been another edition of Gino Salomone's For the Birds. We'll catch up with you in a month and see what we can look for in
Right.
June. Stick around. You're watching Wisconsin Weather Experts right now on Fox Local.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Weather Experts. We've been talking a lot about the rain, and Gino, man, he is so good at taking pictures of birds.
He really got into this. Off the air, we asked him how long he'd been doing it. He said 6 or 7 years. So he's got quite the knowledge base for a guy who, is relatively new to the hobby. But if you got questions, hey, send those in, and we can answer them through Gino as well. We'll talk more about viewer questions in a bit. But I want to bring up hurricane season. They're looking for warmer than average ocean temperatures, and that's one of the huge factors when it comes to hurricanes, and that could trigger a pretty active Atlantic hurricane season. The 2025 outlook is out now, and it marks 20 years since Hurricane Katrina, of course, devastated Louisiana and a wide swath of the Gulf Coast. Fox's Chandler Painter takes a closer look at what millions can soon expect and why officials say there's no time to waste when it comes to prepping.
The Hurricane Center is fully staffed up and we're ready to go.
The 2025 Atlantic hurricane season begins June 1st, and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says communities in storm-prone areas should start preparing now for what's expected to be an above-average season.
Specifically, there's a 60% chance of above normal season.
Forecasters are calling for 13 to 19 named storms, of which wind speeds reach 39 miles per hour or higher.
Of these, 6 to 10 are forecast to become hurricanes. And that's when you get to the 74-mile-an-hour mark. And 3 to 5 is the number of major hurricanes. That's Cat 3 and above.
For reference, 18 named storms formed last year, including Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The National Hurricane Center says 2024 was the deadliest hurricane season since 2005.
The 2024 hurricane season outlook that was issued in May last year was right on the money.
But agency officials are confident in yearly technology advancements that help them forecast and track storms more accurately.
Weather prediction, forecasting, modeling is a top priority of ours.
Besides warning of the potential for devastating winds, experts say residents near and far from where hurricanes make landfall can still face deadly storm surge and flooding.
In 2024, inland flooding was one of the most destructive forces, with rainfall totals from Hurricane Helene exceeding 30 inches in communities located hundreds of miles from the coast.
The Atlantic hurricane season typically lasts through November 30th. I'm Chandler Painter, Fox News.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season.
Yeah.
And part of the job that we do that makes it a little bit more difficult sometimes is human psychology. So sometimes we'll have very active seasons, hurricane seasons, but because they don't make landfall, you don't hear about them. So we get a lot of feedback sometimes, oh, you guys said it was going to be busy. And it was, but because it didn't make landfall, it didn't make news.
Right.
And so, of course, you kind of lose track of that. And obviously that's what we want. If it's going to be an active season, we want them out over the open waters. But I encourage you, if you're interested in this kind of thing, and obviously you're watching this show, so you kind of are, I encourage you to pay attention to the National Hurricane Center forecasts regardless of landfall.
Right.
Because they're fascinating storms, and when they're out just bothering shipping lanes, that's when it's
Yeah.
almost fun to watch because they're not bothering anybody.
Absolutely. And, there's such minuscule factors that can impact these storms, whether they're going to reach landfall, whether they're going to stay over land, whether they're going to strengthen or weaken. But it is really cool just to see the transition. So we'll have to see what this season has to bring.
Right. We'll keep an eye on that, and we'll also keep an eye out for gators. A huge alligator causing some disruptions at a popular swimming spot in Florida. We have Fox's Kelsey Cairns with that.
Officials with the U.S. Forest Service are dubbing this gator the bull gator just because he's so big, and they're saying he could be anywhere between 13 and 14 feet long. U.S. Forest Service officials closing up a portion of the waterway within Juniper Springs to keep kayakers and canoers safe. Officials say the large male gator is between 13 to 14 feet long, which is near record length for the Sunshine State. According to Florida Fish and Wildlife, the state record total length for a gator is 14 feet 3.5 inches, which was recorded back in 2010 in Brevard County. U.S. Forest Service saying the gator may be acting aggressive in defense of his mating territory. The agency also reporting over the past few days, he actively made contact with canoes and kayaks. The combination of gator mating season, hot weather, and human interaction may be to blame, says one expert.
It's the warmest time of the year. These animals are cold-blooded. It's their most active time of the year. When you're dealing with an area that's a high public use area, it's usually people that have caused the problem. So it'll be an animal that's been picking up scraps, picking up things that have been left behind.
While the boat ramp is closed for the time being, the swimming area is still open. Right now, there have been no injuries reported as a result of that gator, and U.S. Forest Service did not indicate when canoeing or kayaking will start back up again. Reporting tonight, I'm Kelsey Cairns, Fox 35 News.
Let's give it up for Kelsey being willing to go out in the dark to that location.
Yeah. One more reason I like being in Wisconsin.
There you go. Stay safe. Have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. We will be on the air on Monday. We'll talk to you then.